Hey my friends, what's going on? This is Jeff Taylor, Madjef, and I wanted to show you a little something today about a way in which you can eliminate from your studio any sort of box necessary to monitor audio if you're using a Metric Halo 2882 DSP or one of their newer boxes. Metric Halo makes a really incredible Firewire audio interface that gives you lots of inputs and outputs and a lot of routing capability that's pretty awesome. So what I used to have in my studio was all of my outputs from my speakers would run into a Mackie Big Knob, and then I would control my volume with that out to my speakers. And it was nice because it gave me a choice of speakers to switch between, and it also gave me the ability to to monitor headphone mixes and so forth, and to do a talk back into the control room and all those cool things. But I kind of outgrew the Mackie Big now because I got tired of hearing my audio processed through an additional analog interface, and I was really interested in hearing the clarity that I could get if I went directly from my interface to my speakers. So I got rid of it. In doing so, I took on the DSP card for my 2882, which has been a reliable hardware interface for me, added the DSP, and then that gave me the ability to run with their new mixer something called monitor control, as you can see here. And monitor control essentially lets you create faders, input buses of different types, whether it's an input from your television routed into your interface, your Xbox, or your computer DAW, digital from an outboard digital CD player or something, and it gives you an ability to route all those signals in and hear them in real time in the software. You've got the ability to add these items as your monitor sources and then decide the level that you're monitoring for those sources. You even got the ability to mute and dim these same controls that you'd have on a big knob or some other control surface to actually monitor the sound. I'm going to show you how you use this in a more configurable way, because in my studio, I wanted to have the ability to output to two channel stereo, but I wanted to also have the opportunity to take all my low end and run it out on third channel to my sub. So instead of your basic left and right output, I've got three outputs, and those three outputs feed my left right mix and then my low end frequencies directly out to my sub. And I'm just using the output of the interface to go output 1, output 2, and output 3, knowing that I'm routing all those particular left, right, and low end frequencies to those outputs. I'm going to show you how I did that. First of all, what you want to do is you want to create an additional fader. And you want to do that by going to your monitor control and deciding that you want to add a new monitor path. And that monitor path, a left center right mix. Okay, so that's going to give me three channels, a left, right, and a center. I'm going to send my analog output 1 to the left, my analog output 2 to the right, and then my analog output 3 will be my center channel, which in turn will be my low end frequency channel. So I add that, select it, and now I've got this output routing set up, and I've got this fader aligned to do just that. Now that's the easy part, but as it is right now, any frequency that comes through here, for example my TV, will only feed the left and right channels. So what I've done is create a patch. What I've done is I've fed my left and right 1 and 2 outputs into a band split plugin within Metric Halo. That allowed me to separate the high-end frequencies and send the high-end frequency directly out to output 1 and 2 so they go out unaffected. However, I've asked it with the band split to take all the low frequencies, and I think that I've chosen frequencies 80 hertz and below, and I've asked it to separate those frequencies and send those low frequencies out left and right and send them into a summer, where it will sum the left and right low frequencies and combine them into one mono low end tone. That low end tone from the summer is then spit out of the summer and into a volume control, so that I can then control the amount of volume that I have on my sub. I can adjust it to the size of my room and so forth, so I can balance the high end and the low end in the room at the same time. That volume control then feeds an output directly to output 3. Now I've got my eyes coming on outputs 1 and 2, and my low end split off of the main stereo bus into a summer, and then volume control to output 3. I've saved this patch here, and I call it simply my sub crossover, and boom, save it as a part of my setup, and when it comes up, it's automatically sending anything with low frequency information, and more likely it'll be my DAW that's with some booming tracks or something happening here, and it'll send those tracks out to 1 and 2, and all the low end sub information will be transferred to channel 3. I hope this has been helpful, and you got to explore the metric halo interfaces because it allows you to really work in a clean digital environment without a whole lot of the analog components. And my speakers are now fed directly off of the audio interface directly to an amplifier, directly to speakers right at my face, and not a lot of mixing consoles and other things that might get in the way of that. So I hope this has been helpful. This is Madjef. Holla at me when you get a chance. We'll talk to you later.